incredible fight, an absolutely amazing fight, which in the course of trilogies, it's got to be way up there. You'd have to say like Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, their fights right from 1971 to 75 was absolutely incredible and fantastic. But for two men to fight 3 times for the World Heavyweight Championship of the world, and everybody had their apprehensions about how this fight was going to pan out because Tyson Fury was an incredible victor in their last fight. For what these guys put on the line was just seriously for the analogs of history. It was absolutely fantastic. Both men should be commended for how they performed. We had 5 knockdowns right throughout the fight. Tyson Fury going down twice, Deontay Wilder going down 3 times, and it was. I'm still shocked about it. I haven't slept since watching the fight this morning.
You're still buzzing from it, I can tell. And you're right, there were question marks, weren't there, about Fury's own preparation? He'd had COVID amongst other issues.
Yes, but you have to look at somebody like Tyson Fury, who is 1,000,000% a boxer. Different to someone like a Deontay Wilder, Deontay Wilder's story is absolutely amazing. He spent like 3 years as an amateur boxer, ended up qualifying to go to the Olympics, came back with a bronze medal. Tyson Fury was born. When he came out of his mother's womb, he most probably had boxing because it's in his lineage, it's in his DNA. And you could see that yesterday. Like, people were thinking at the fact that Tyson Fury came in very heavy, just under 20 stone, thinking like, how is he going to be able to move and navigate himself carrying that weight? Deontay Wilder actually bulked up from the last time that they fought. He put on nearly 1.5 stones. It made no difference. When Tyson Fury says that he is a fighting man, that is exactly what he is. And more so than that is the respect that he shows to previous past champions. Tyson Fury is absolutely amazing. We've seen everything that he's gone through with the mental health, with the depression that he's gone through, with him not wanting to box, him stepping away from boxing, then becoming obese, losing 10 stone in weight. I'm sure that's about your weight right now, right? Right.
Oh, you're very kind. Right. You're very kind. I mean, you talk about respect. Wilder wasn't quite as respectful, was he?
My friend, I get why he wasn't, but looking at someone like Tyson Fury, there was no more excuses. They had every excuse underneath the book. The last time out, saying like, oh, my water was spiked. There was allegations of the glove tampering and all this nonsense. Maybe it's difficult for someone in his position to just take it, to say like, I was beaten by the better man. And it was sad because it put kind of damper on such a fantastic fight. Boxing is the sweet science, but unfortunately became the bitter fiction yesterday with Deontay Wilder coming out, or in the early hours of the morning with Deontay Wilder coming out with the comments they did after the fight. But the class of Tyson Fury, when Tyson Fury was saying like, you know what, I hope that the Lord softens your heart. You know, everything's about learning and it's about a progression. So hopefully, you know, Deontay Wilder in maybe in the near future, we'll see like it was wrong, that was an error. Hold his hands up. He was beaten fair and square. There's no excuses. And he was just in with the better man who faced adversity in the fight as well and sucked it up, bit down his gum shield and came back and was valiant.
Yeah. And what next for Tyson, do you think? A fight with Anthony Joshua?
No. Are we not forgetting? 2 weeks ago, Anthony Joshua just lost. Anthony Joshua, even though Anthony Joshua financially will be a viable fight because people still will be interested in it, but we have to be real. The thing that those two men, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, showed yesterday in their fight was that they could bite down on their gum shield. When everything's not going according to plan, bite down on your gum shield and show that you got that grit. Unfortunately, with Anthony Joshua, this is no disrespect because I love the guy, but he didn't show that against a smaller man in Usyk 2 weeks ago. So right now, this is properly, we're like in a Marvel comic because everybody's looking for the Stones right now. And Tyson Fury holds a portion of Infinity Stones and Alexander Usyk owns the other portion. So those two should get it on. But I must stress, Dylan White has been #1 challenger for the WBC crown, which is held by Tyson Fury for the longest time. And Maurizio Sulaiman, who is the president of the WBC, has said, like, so you've got 30 days to decide who you're going to fight, whether it's going to be Usyk or Dylan White. Dylan White's waited a long time. That would be a fantastic thing to have Dylan White and Tyson Fury at Wembley. It would be a...
Bring it on. And Spencer, just show me that mug again, because I think there's a face on there I recognise.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Can you see that?
There he is. The great man himself. I hope that's decaf tea in there, because I think you're still buzzing from the fight, aren't you?
My friend, I don't think you understand. Like, boxing is on a high. The fact that because of what was demonstrated yesterday in the fight, or it's going to bring more youngsters, to take youngsters off of the streets. They will have things to do because everybody's buzzing about it. Like I said, I haven't slept. Early this morning, I'm getting phone calls from former professional fighters, Clifton, Mitchell, the guys from certain podcasts and everything else, Undefeated podcast and the Fight is Right podcast. Everybody's speaking about boxing because what we saw with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, there was no loser in that fight at all. There was no loser. Great fights are great fights. Great fights. It was like, wow, because, you know, one hand cannot clap without the other. And they both needed each other to clap, and they clapped so loudly. It was absolutely beautiful to see.